Hey there, Stampers. My name is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Canada. And in this video, I'm going to share how to assemble your Beary Comforting December 2020 Paper Pumpkin Kit. Okay, so when you open your box, you'll have, yours will look a little different if you haven't opened it yet. So you have this blue tissue paper, and inside you will find the instructions for the cards. So these are photos of what the cards look like. And then there are simple photo instructions on how to assemble your kit. These kits are meant to be really quick and easy, something that you can put together in usually about half an hour or less. Every month you receive a Stampin' Spot. This month we've got Rich Razzleberry, and you receive an exclusive stamp set. Okay. Now, some adhesive is usually provided. Usually, if you need dimensionals, those will be provided. And if mini glue dots are needed, those will be in your kit as well. This month, we just received dimensionals. On occasion, you will need to add like a roll-on adhesive, like our seal, or even if you have a glue stick on hand, you can use that as well. Okay. And then everything is all pre-cut, scored, and ready for you. Okay, so what I suggest when you first get your kit, if you plan on making everything as it's intended to be used, I encourage you to pull everything out of the box and then separate everything. So pop out all of the pieces, and so these are all die cut. You just pop them out and they are ready to go. Okay, so you can create little piles, and then your card bases will be all pre-scored, ready to go, and you'll receive some envelopes if it's a card kit. And then what I suggest that you do is put everything that you need based on the photo together and create little kits. Okay, so here you can see I've got the card base with the stripes on it. I need this rectangular piece, I need one of the bears, I need a flower, and then I need one of the circular greeting tags. So I've got that all together, and then I tucked it into an envelope. So I did that for one of each of the cards. And if you, like I said, if you plan on doing all of the cards exactly like this, then I encourage you to do them all the same. And then as you create in kind of like a mass production kind of style. So what you do for one card, you do for all of them. Okay? All right. So now that that's done, I'm going to keep this out because that will be my guide. Now, to open the ink pad, oh, I should mention also, if you purchase the kit with a block, you will also have the Paper Pumpkin Basics clear block. So you will need a block in order to, so that you can stick your stamps to it, okay? If you don't have this, if you're already a stamper, then you can pull out just your D block, and that should work for all of the images. All right, okay. Now to open the ink pad, if you just take a pair of scissors and just run it along, there's a little line here that's perforated. You just want to go across the seam. And I usually just do the one side, and that way the lid is always attached. And then this is ready to go. Now when I'm done with this, I will usually store these upside down. Okay. And that way, when you go to use it, when you flip it over, all of the ink is already at the surface and it's ready to use. That's just a little tip for you. And that's with our little ink spots. Okay, so now let's go ahead and we will start with this project. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to determine what greeting you want to use. So if I look at the photo, let me bring this back. If I look at the photo, it's got "You Are On My Mind." I am going to use this. So I'm going to take that and just put it down and stick my block on. It will automatically adhere to your block. Okay. So for this, in this circular image, you could also use Hooray. Hooray will fit in there. And the Get Well Soon is, I think you could make it fit. It would fit. I think you'd get a little bit of overlap on the gold. So pretty much any of those greetings would work. So now again, just like I said, if you are doing all of the cards the same, then what I would do is I would pull out all of these little circles and stamp them all at the same time. So I'm just going to take this. I've got the stamp on this side, and I'm just going to ink it up on here. And I normally, whenever I try a new stamp, I stamp on a scrap piece of paper just to make sure that it works well. Yep, and that looks good. So I'll take that, ink it up again. So I'm just moving it around. It's a pretty small ink pad, so I'm moving it around so that I make sure I get ink all across the stamp. And then I'm just gonna set this on here, just kind of position it so it's kind of in the center. Stamp it down. You can see that I'm just holding it down. I'm not wobbling the stamp. It's just straight down and straight up. And you've got a perfect impression. Okay, so that's all the stamping that we need to do. To clean this, you can use a baby wipe. You can just use a wet cloth if you don't have access to baby wipes, or if you've got one of our chamois, which is just this, they don't come looking like this. This is just a well-loved one. You just wet the chamois and then you can just use that, just dip it on there or rub it on there and it gets it clean. Okay. All right. So now as far as assembly goes, we will take our card base and just fold along the lines. If you have a bone folder, you can use a bone folder, but you can use whatever you have on hand to make it nice and crisp. And then I believe everything is popped up using dimensionals for this. So that's where you can kind of have a look on here. Here, animals, yeah. Okay, so everything is put on using dimensionals. So these are what is called dimensionals. They're basically just pieces of foam cut in a hexagon shape. So you put them on there and then peel off the backings. These just go in the garbage. And we'll put this right in the center of the card. Just like that. And then our bear is going to go in the center of that. And look at this, the arm of the bear is slit so that you can add the flowers in there. So you can use a little dimensional in behind here to hold it in place, or if you don't want to use the dimensional, you can also use just a little bit of regular flat adhesive. So whether it's a glue stick or our seal adhesive. Isn't that cute? So he's holding a little bouquet of flowers, or he could hold a birthday cake if you wanted to do a birthday card. He could hold a heart. He could hold a cupcake. So any one of these would be perfect in there. And then we'll use some dimensionals to stick him to the card front, just like that. And then this will go off to the side. Now, you can put it wherever you'd like. Just something to keep in mind is this is already popped up, and I want mine to go kind of right there. So this is already popped up. It's already got some height. So instead of putting the dimensional on the back of this, I'm going to put it right here. And like I said, this already has height. So if you have another dimensional here, it's going to sit like this, like at an angle. And I want it to be even. So I'm just gonna put that right on there. And our card is done. It's as easy as that. Okay, so then you just fold the flap and you've got a nice matching envelope to go with it. Okay, so that was card number 1. Now let's do this one. So this is card number 2. This is the coral colored card. So this is the one with the adorable koalas, and it says hooray. So again, I'll just use my block to fold my card. That's ready to go. This is going to go on here in the center. I'll just use some dimensionals to put that on. Peel off the backings. So our monthly paper pumpkin kits are a great option if you love to craft and are looking for quick and easy projects. They are so fun. Usually they are cards, but on occasion they are something different. So I believe next month is, we never know in advance exactly what it's going to be, but they usually give us hints. Next month is going to be a Valentine themed project, and usually Valentine projects are 3D projects. So perfect to add a little treat into and gift to someone. Okay, so I just added a couple dimensionals there, and these adorable little koalas are gonna go straight across. Let's put my card straight. Just like that. And then we've got the cupcake. Again, their hands pop up so you can slide the cupcake underneath. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put one dimensional right here. And then I'm going to, I probably should have done this first. Just use my scissors to kind of curl up their hands a little bit, just so that I can easily slide my cupcake underneath. So we'll just slide that just like that, and our cupcake is on there. Now we need to stamp our greeting. Now for this one, these photopolymer stamps are great because you can determine which stamps, which greetings will fit. Okay, so they've got the hooray. The "you are on my mind" doesn't really fit. The "get well soon" does. I'm actually going to do, I'm going to do the hooray just like they did. So I cleaned this. I can peel this off. I think the hooray works well with the cupcake. We'll put that on there, stick it down, bring back our ink pad, and just ink this up. Again, I'm going to pull in my scrap just to make sure it stamps nicely. Looks good. And then I'll just stamp that right in the center. And this will go on using dimensionals. So I'll grab a couple of these, peel off the backs, and then pop this up on here. And card number 2 is done. Okay, last card is this adorable little raccoon. So we'll go ahead and fold this along the score line. This piece we can pop up using dimensionals. You will end up having a lot of dimensionals left. You can save them for other projects. You'll end up having a stamp set that you can use over and over and over, and an ink pad. So Paper Pumpkin is also a great way to build your stamp collection and doesn't take up a lot of space. So if you are limited in your space for crafting supplies, this is another great reason to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. And I will post all the details on how you can become a subscriber in the description below this video. Okay, so this guy's going to get popped up and put right on here. Just like that. The heart will get stuck on, and again, because he's popped up, I don't want to double pop up my heart, so I'm just going to put a dimensional right there and just position my heart where I want it so it looks like he's holding it. And then my greeting, on the sample they've got "get well soon." I'm actually going to do hooray again. So let's bring back the ink pad, ink this up, and then stamp it right in the center. And then this will get popped up using dimensionals again. Just like that. And now we have our third card done. So this kit actually makes 12 cards for each of these 3 designs. And you can interchange these pieces for whatever you'd like. So there's a look at the 3 cards, the 3 different cards. So it's a great way to get to have a stack of 12 different cards. You could make them all birthday if you wanted. You could make them all You're on My Mind, which you could in turn around and write a birthday greeting message on the inside and convert it to birthday as well. So lots of options. Again, if you are interested in more information on Paper Pumpkin, I will post a link in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and if you participated in the Paper Pumpkin Stollery fundraiser, I really appreciate it, and I know that the kids are going to love these kits. All right, thanks so much for watching. Take care.